My name's Mila. Welcome to my weed channel, Getting Baked, or I'm too high to do this. Baking with Mila, or something like that. I was high when I came up with the name, and now I don't remember. We're about to make some amazing weed brownies. Not any of those gross, dry, weed tasting gross dry brownies that you always get, you know, when you get edibles and they're always brownies and they're like really dry and the brownie doesn't taste that good. Like, I don't want to ruin the delicious brownie with weed. I want the delicious brownie to get me stoned. So we made gourmet brownies. They're amazing. They're delicious, top notch. They're gonna get you high, but they're also chef's kisses.
Hey, I know you don't smoke weed. I know this, but I'm gonna get you high today.
Keep on watching. So you want to make sure you put a little bit of a carrier oil in with your concentrate, whatever you're using. We're using wax. I don't know about oil. I haven't used that yet, but for now we're using wax, and that will burn if you use it straight on the pan. So you want to use a little bit of oil, which is like coconut oil, because it doesn't leave a flavor in there. You don't want your baked goods to have flavors other than the yummy chocolate flavor, whatever you're baking. So make sure you use coconut oil because it doesn't have a flavor to it. And you just want to let it melt for a good 25 minutes. You'll know your weed is done when you can smell it really, really strong. You want to time it because it's like chemistry. If you do not time it, you will burn it off. And if it's not a super strong smell, don't take it off. You're going to smell it throughout your whole friggin' kitchen. So we'll see you back in a couple minutes.
Make sure that you melt 2 sticks of butter for the brownies. I'm following a recipe, which I'll link it for you guys if you want to see that recipe. But for now, since you're already on this video, I'll just show you that recipe. So you want to brown the butter till it gets like a caramely brown type of flavor. It's just brown butter, basically. I always burn my hand when I make stuff. I need to go to cooking school because I'm burning myself. Make sure you wash your hands because I just touched a freaking hand. So go ahead and brown your butter real nice and good until it's brown. Now, if you burn it, you will be out of luck because it will taste burnt. But if you do burn it, you can strain it through some paper towels and get all the burnt pieces out. But you'll know it's brown because it'll smell like nutty, and then it'll be done. Turn it off.
All right, guys. But make sure you add your tablespoon of espresso. I just added it, and it like made a huge, hilarious explosion. It didn't explode out of the pan, but it was pretty explosive. Anywho, so add your espresso to the melted butter, and be careful when you do that. It looks like this. It looks delicious and smooth and buttery, and you won't be able to taste the coffee, don't worry. Yeah, so we got that nice and butter toasty, and the oil's still cooking. Should look like that when the wax is melted, all nice and snug as a bug in a rug in there.
Next, we're gonna mix our eggs, our our sugar, and vanilla. So 4 eggs, 2 1/4 cups of sugar. I usually just toss in any amount of vanilla. Just if you like vanilla, put a good chunk in there. You know what I'm saying? Vanilla. Cup. 1 cup. 1.5 cups. 2 cups.
1/4 of a cup is what, a little bit less than half of it?
I don't exactly know how much 1/4 of a cup is, but just take your wildest guess. Okay, Sarah. Just go wherever the wind takes you. It's fine. Anyway, okay. That was no vanilla. Oh my gosh, I don't have anything to replace the vanilla. Oh no, I'm gonna use a dash of molasses because it'll a little sweet since I don't have any vanilla. Just a dash. I just found out that how you make brown sugar is by adding sugar and molasses. And then how you make powdered sugar is by food processing regular sugar. Who knew? Mix it till it's nice and fluffy. Real fluffy. As fluffy as possible.
That. This would look like creme brulee. Like custard. Like soft, fluffy little piggies. Pretty. I could probably do that for another second. Hold on.
Next, we're going to add half a cup of cocoa powder into our sugar mixture. Just let that drip off there a little bit. A little bit.
That's what she said.
Half cup. I'm using Hershey's because I like this chocolate. Don't come for me if you're professional chefs out there like snubbing your noses up at Hershey's because like, you know, whatever. I don't know. Like what you like.
We're gonna take it to a quick break.
There we go. Just a pinch, so yeah. Salt. I'm gonna add a dash of my espresso that I made again. It says to use powder, but I do not have that, so use what you have and make the best of it. Let's just do that. That's on period. That's on what? That's on period.
We is smelling really, really dank up in here. And then we got I just poured the cocoa powder and the salt in there. Just gonna give it a nice little mix there. Shouldn't really have to worry about over mixing necessarily because the flour's not in there yet. So yeah, make sure you scrape the bottom with your spatula because the powder always gets kind of stuck to the bottom. So make sure you do that.
Okay guys, we have the egg, butter, sugar mixture with the cocoa powder. So now we're gonna mix our beautiful butter mixture, but first you gotta add the good stuff. The good stuff. Such a nerd. We have to add the weed oil to the butter. So we're gonna do that real quick. Pour weed oil here with your butter and make sure you give it a really, really nice good stir. You want it to all mix together. Make sure you get every drop because that's the goal. Now, I'm heating it up just a little bit so that it'll blend nicely together. The weed's already hot, but the butter will cool down just a little bit.
So that your stuff's mixed nicely all together when you can't see a separation of the oil and the butter. Because you know, you have oil and butter, they're not the same. So at first when you pour them, they don't exactly mix well, but then when you heat up, that will get it all to mix in there really nicely. So there you go. So now make sure you want to pour that butter into your other batter mixture. So we're gonna do that. Don't spill it, 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 don't spill it. Super important not to spill it. The batter of the gods, don't spill it. And I recommend you use this type of spatula for everything because it is amazing. It gets every little like drop out there. There you go. And you just want to give it a good stir. You don't really need to use your whole thing again. Just fold it in. Ooh, I don't know if you can smell this. I know you guys cannot smell this. Do you smell it? The caramel, but like the almost burnt caramelized butter smell just mixes with chocolate like chef's kisses.
chocolate. Just dump her on it. Fold that chocolate in there too. Yes. Yas. Yas. And then you just deflour. Sorry. Cup and a half. I don't want to use too much flour. Okay, we're at a cup. A little bit more. You don't want to overmix anything once you add the flour because then it'll be all tough. So we're just going to fold it. If you don't know how to fold, if you guys know a reference to Schitt's Creek, if you don't, how do you fold, David? Just fold it, David. I don't know how to talk like more about that. If you know what Schitt's Creek is, then you're with me on that one.
You just fold it in. Okay, I don't know how to fold broken cheese like that. And I don't know how to be any clearer. You take that thing that's in your hand, and you... If you say fold in one more time... It says fold it in!
Fold. Like so. That wasn't good. Okay, one more time. Fold. Take the bottom and put it on the top. You basically just keep folding it until there's no powder left. You just don't want to like beat the crap out of it because your brownies will be tough. It's a light fold. Gently. Gently. If you know a reference to that, then leave a comment. You're MVP right there. Now the fun part and the last part is to chop up your chocolate. And you want to make sure you use chopped chocolate, which is bars that you chop. The difference is that the chocolate will be pulled and melted pretty much all the time instead of like the chocolate chips that you use. If you use chocolate chips, they'll be like hard, like almost burnt pieces of chocolate. But if you use these, it will pull instead of burn and become gross. You're supposed to use 9.5 ounces, but I only have 8. But that's close. Da, da, da. Chop your chocolate like so. Chop, chop, chop. You don't need the sound effects, I guess. Some of your chopping sound effects. You could do without those. Choppity chop chop the Chinese chocolate. What song is that? Is that a racist song? Oh my gosh, chickadee China, the Chinese chicken. You got a drumstick and your brain starts thinking. Do you know that? What did he mean by those lyrics? What is a Chinese chicken? Is it like a real chicken or?
I don't think I heard that.
Chinese people. Oh, you didn't know that was the lyrics?
No,
To that song.
what?
That song.
What song?
Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on.
Wait, on what part of the song?
Chickadee China, the Chinese chicken. You got a drumstick and your brain starts thinking. Watching X-Files with the lights on. Your brain's looking like something.
I think that's a different song.
Oh,
I know what song you're talking about now, though.
Cool. Oh my goodness, look at that chocolate. Fold her in again, just fold her in. That part's easy to have that way. Gonna put music over it. Make sure you mix it good, 'cause all done. Make sure you grease your pan before you put any. Make sure that you evenly spread your batter because you don't want one side of your brownies to be like gigantic. Also, I can feel some of the chocolate pieces kind of stuck, so make sure you kind of just make sure those aren't messed up. Okay. I'm just gonna give it a nice little, get all the air bubbles out of there. Okay, into the oven we go. Make sure you turn the oven on because I forgot to do that. So we're just gonna go ahead and do that now. 375 kids. Actually, shame. 400 because they're brownies. I'm going to make them a little bit hotter, depending on your oven. All done. Come back when it's preheated and we'll put it in the oven. So if you guys want to go that extra mile, go ahead and, sorry about the shadow, go ahead and sprinkle some chunky salts. If you have salt flakes, that would work better, but I didn't have those. I just have the chunky salt. You don't want to use iodized salt. Trust me, that will not work for you. I just have like the pink salt, Himalayan salt. You want to use like a nice chunky salt. That's not like a salty, nasty iodized salt. Okay. That pool of chocolate in there. Do you see that? Shoot, hold on. Ooh, boy, I see that. Okay. Okay, guys. Our knife. Now I'm gonna cut these so that instead of having like the normal size, like 12 brownies, I'm gonna cut them smaller so that you can have a lot more brownies because the dosage is a little bit high on the marijuana. Sorry, the lighting's kind of bad. It's dark outside now, so. This is what I end up with. So I made, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Perfect. And then I kept these as extras so that you can taste them and make sure they're delicious. I suggest when trying to get them out to use like a small spoon and they won't damage like the integrity. Okay. So I bought these precious little Christmas bags, snowman and little clips and little name tags for single ones that I just am giving to people, and then a bigger one for gifting. Look how beautiful. Like, can you even, like, can you stand under there? Break that sucker. Yes. Oh my goodness. Like, can you stop? Oh my God. Someone's gonna have the best Christmas ever. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining me and making these delicious pot brownies. Yeah, subscribe to my channel if you want to know how to make more delicious things. You can request things in the comments. I'll make whatever with weed in it. It'll be delicious and amazing. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Yes. Anyway, subscribe to my channel. Okay, bye.